face or a whole face, but I figured it's the beginning of the day, so I'm sure some of us are not like we're going anywhere crazy right now, but might want to not have just half a face done. So we'll do the whole thing. Okay, so I think we are live here. Oh, some people are trying to get on.
So we can switch to the live too?
Hello. Yeah, whatever's good for you. I'm going to be going on Facebook Live for those that are not on Zoom, or that to watch the replay as well. But it's nice on Zoom because then I can see your face if you did have any questions at the end, or wanted me to critique or do any of that kind of stuff, or you can follow along and you can talk, whereas on Facebook Live you have to put on the comments, right?
Okay.
I'm
just going to watch. I'm going to observe.
No problem. Okay, so
I'm Misty. Misty, I saw one of my VIPs joining. I think she's having a little issue, but go ahead. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay. What is she saying the issue is?
I think it's just on her end about getting on the Zoom. So she's okay. Just keep going.
Well, you can always add her in my VIP group if you'd like, and then she can watch it there, or I'll record it and you can send it to her afterwards as well.
Okay. I just sent her the link again. So thank you.
Okay. No problem. Yes. If you'd like to take a before and after picture for yourself or for me to see.
My before and afters are always lousy.
Oh, no, it'll be nice. You guys are going to get lots of good tips here. So some of you have joined me for some makeup. Some of it'll be refreshers. Some of it'll just be like a new look. So I was thinking more because it's winter time, right? And everyone's skin's so extra dry. So first of all, definitely skincare is always, the better your skin, the better the makeup's going to look, right? So make sure your skin is hydrated, moisturized. I did enzyme peel yesterday on my face, and I did the face polish this morning on my face in the shower. And then I use the cloud cream, the Biodefense Cloud Cream, and Age Defiance Firming Serum, and the Eyewitness today as my skincare routine. But definitely always want to start off with a good, clean face when you're doing your makeup. Now, this is going to be a very, like I said, very natural look for that glowy, dewy complexion, step by step. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask or put in the comments. I'm going to try my best to see the comments that are on the Facebook feed here. Let me refresh that to make sure I can see it. And then, there we go. Okay. Oh, is Jean still on here? She's just commented. Her internet was down. Oh no, she's the one that wanted the tutorial. That's okay. We'll record it. She can totally watch after. Hopefully she can pop back on. Okay, so we are going to be obviously using Aloette. Sorry. My house is so dry. I need like more humidifiers. More Aloette products. But if you don't have Aloette products, or if you have something that is comparison, or you don't have it and you want to skip it, no big deal. Okay, so just follow along as much as you can. So we will get started. So the first thing, and again, if you haven't already, or if you normally do, I always curl my eyelashes first. That's my very first step, because that way you're not, if you're using a clamp, then you're not having your foundation and everything done, and you're trying to you're going to get the lines, right? And also, if you don't normally curl your eyelashes, it makes your lashes obviously bigger, fuller, more noticeable. So it makes a big difference. It just opens up your eyes a lot more. So a lot of the techniques and tips that I'll be going over today is to achieve that, nice, natural, but bigger, right? That's the whole thing with makeup. It's to make your eyes look bigger, and to have that illusion, right? So yeah, so again, with makeup too, there's no right or wrong, right? It is makeup. You can always wash it off. It's definitely about practicing, right? And these are just tips and things that I do personally, and that when I do my bridal makeup or on myself, these are what I find works. So this is, like I said, very casual, very laid back training, and we'll just kind of hop right into it. I'll just give tips as I'm kind of talking about things. So the first step and normally when I'm doing somebody else's makeup, I would normally start with their eyes, because there's going to be something called fallout, which is your eyeshadow that can kind of sometimes fall underneath, and it can mess up your foundation or your concealer that you've done. So on other people, I usually start with the eyes first. And if you want to start with your eyes yourself when you are practicing, if you're not fully comfortable with that, that's a good tip, so you're not kind of messing it up. But for today's purposes too, you even grab a Kleenex. Then you can always fold it like this. And when you're doing your eyes, because we're going to start with the face first, you can always just hold your Kleenex up like this and then do the eyes. So if anything falls, you're getting it on your Kleenex, okay? So that's just that. Okay. So the first step, like I said, is going to be your primer. Now, a primer is really important for your skin, for your makeup to adhere to it. It's just like when we prep our walls for painting, it gives it a layer, it gives it a nice smoothness. You don't need as much foundation that way. And also there's different types of primers out there. Obviously the Aloette 2 that we have is our flawless primer and our luminous tint. So the flawless, again, is more for like that putty polyfill, enlarged pores. If you have deeper expression lines, oilier skin, right? Right now with wintertime, I definitely use this one still, but I mix my luminous tint with it. But if you have luminous tint, I would suggest that you would pull that out so that you can use this as your first step, because a lot of people don't tend to use this on its own, and it's an amazing, amazing product. So this one's got amazing ingredients. There's like green tea extract, vitamin E, aloe, and then of course olive oil in here, and then the crushed and shea butter. And then there's crushed pearl, which is what gives it that nice glow without it looking like shimmery or shiny or like too glowy, right? It's just like a nice natural glow. Now, I just put about, I don't even know, I guess a dime size amount total, because it spreads out. But you would want to put this on. You can use your fingers, but if you have our Aloette brush set, you're going to have in there this brush, or if you have any brushes that look like this, it's flat. This one literally is a foundation brush, but you will see how much nicer this product goes on with this, because it glides it. So you're going to literally put this all over your face. Okay, so this is your primer. Actually, you're probably going to need a little bit more. Again, I did the half face last time, so I was putting this in a minute. So this just gives it, like I said, a nice base. So your makeup goes on and it kind of radiates through the foundation. So it'll give it a nice glow. So that's what we're achieving right now, a very natural glow. Also, it's very youthful. That's definitely what's in right now. If you are feeling like your skin's dehydrated or you're just feeling like not as bright, you're usually like the skin's dull, right? So using products that are going to help luminous and give that nice glow is giving you that nice youthfulness back to your skin, right? So you're just literally blending this all over. It kind of blends it. I'm doing my computer, but I also have my mirror right here just because some of it's not 100% the greatest quality. So I just want to make sure it looks good. And then there's natural lighting in here too. I don't know if you guys can see that, but like, look at it. It's just so gorgeous. This is a great product too. If you don't wear makeup normally, or on the days that you don't want to wear a lot, you could totally just put this on, put some mascara on, a little concealer, and you're good to go. Sorry, this is the Luminous Tint Primer. The Luminous Tint Primer. That's what we're starting with. If you don't have this one, you can start with any primer you have. This is one that I like for this look because it's, again, super hydrating. And when I did this a few nights ago with our franchise, and so many people had this product, but they didn't use it. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how like soft it is or how much glowing it is. And they just loved it. So I definitely, this is the thing with makeup. I'm just encouraging you to try different things outside of what you would normally use as your day-to-day look, right? Okay, so that's all over. So that's quick. Yeah, you definitely can mix them together if you have both, and that's how I normally would wear it. But for this look, I just like it on its own. Okay, now that's your primer, so that's your first step, okay? Now your next step is your foundation. So that's gonna be a different brush. And I hope that if you are watching this on the Facebook Live, please just write down your name so I can see along. Okay, so with the next brush, we are using the chisel brush. This one is now updated, so you can use this for liquid or powder. The thing with brushes too, and I'll talk more about this when we do our eyeshadow, is yes. So with the brushes, the tighter the bristles, the more product it holds. Okay, so this one is going to be more full coverage because it's actually buffing it into your skin. For example, compared to this one, which is like a lot more fluffy, this would deposit a lot less on your face, right? So when you're choosing brushes, that's why they're like labeled for certain things, because the brushes are all made differently and they're made to hold different products, right? So you would, for example, want to use the chisel brush to apply a blush or a bronzer, because it's going to literally look like there's a line there, right? You would want to use like a fluffier brush or like this one, right? So it's a little bit more easier to blend. So that's another tip too. And I'll show you the difference when we're doing our eyeshadows. Okay, so for this, we are going to be using our liquid foundation. Again, whatever foundation you have at home. Oh, Jean's coming back. The Ultra Finish is obviously a great one. It's a powder though, so it's not going to achieve that glow dewiness because it's a powder. It's mattifying. I'm going to use it, but it's going to be to set the makeup under my eyes for the concealer. So I use the liquid foundation. It's our newer one. It's our Be Picture Perfect. I absolutely love this foundation. Yeah, and that's fine if you have the older one, Marie, that'll work still. So this one is anti-aging skincare ingredients. It's very lightweight. I find it's just amazing for texture. It doesn't feel cakey. It doesn't feel heavy. Personally, I switched from the Ultra Finish to using this. So right now we have a huge February BOGO buy one get one sale on, and so I always recommend starting with whatever your winter color is, and then BOGOing your summer color. The nice thing about foundations that are liquid, you can mix them together, so you get your perfect match if you're in between seasons, like right now. So I am a little bit between light tan and golden medium. So I just squirt a little bit on the back of my hand for both of them. And what's nice about this foundation, it is a 12-hour, so it literally stays on all day. It doesn't transfer. You don't need to touch it up. It's a really good formula. I absolutely love this. I have a lot of customers that use this. So I always use my hand as a palette. So I usually just will go like this and kind of mix it so you can kind of see if that's a good color for you. Okay. Now it's always better to go, if you're wondering, okay, how do I know what color it is? What's good for me? It's always better to go a little darker than to go too light. Yeah. We're going to do concealer after the foundation. So this is a perfect color for me, but think about it. The sun, well, it's not like it's out right now in the winter, but in the summertime, the sun comes from above. It hits you right here usually, right? And then mostly right here. So a lot of people end up having darker shade, right, on their chest. Their neck is white because it's, again, got like hardly any sun, unless you are a suntanner and you're laying down. But typically people usually have lighter on their chest or on their neck. And then if you're using SPF daily, your face is a little bit lighter, right? So you want to actually match your foundation color to your chest so that it looks, and then you blend it into your neck and it looks like perfect, right? The same color. Sorry, Steph, did you have your hand up? Oh, okay. It looked like it was. Okay, if you have, again, any questions about anything, message me or take yourself off mute. Okay, so how you want to color match? the best thing is to take your color and you want to kind of put it on your jaw and you want to see if it blends right in. Now I'm doing this on purpose. I mixed too much of my light tan. So you can see it's a little dark. You should be able to see it, but it should blend right in, right? So that's a little too dark for me. So I'm going to go back in and add a little bit of my golden medium, the lighter color. How that matches, see the difference? Which one? This one matches a little bit better, right? Can you guys see the difference? So then, or you're like, okay, I'm good. This is how I apply my makeup. I take it on the 5 areas. I always have a cloth with me. I can use my hand as a palette. You take your brush and you just slowly in circular motions buff it into the skin. The reason why I love this brush and not, you don't want to use like beauty blenders and sponges and things like that, because if you're not washing it every single time you're using it, which most people don't, it's getting a lot of bacteria. Okay, and it also holds a lot of the makeup, right? So you're wasting a lot of your makeup because it's absorbing into your sponge. So that's why brushes are so nice. And it's just so much easier to blend it and buff it in circular motions and to spread it out. So it just kind of goes really nice. Okay. So again, the more you do this, the quicker it'll be. I honestly can do this look that I'm doing today in under 10 minutes normally when I'm not talking and explaining it. But because I've done it so much, right? So that's the thing. Okay, if you go back and you're like, okay, there's some areas that maybe, you want to add. So I just kind of take whatever's left over on my hand here. And you're like, okay, I want to add a little bit here. You can go back. But typically you're good, okay? Until you get the coverage. If you ever feel like you need more coverage and you only have liquid, go back in and go more. But this one on its own is pretty good. If you have the ultra finish, you'll be able to do a little bit more for full coverage with that too. Okay, so I think I am good for my foundation. Are you guys good? Okay, so I'm gonna take that brush away. I'm just gonna wipe off anything that's on my hand here so you can't see that. Okay, now the next step is the concealer. So a concealer, conceals mostly, it's a product that conceals dark circles, if you have blemishes, age spots, things like that, right? I love this one. It's the Duo concealer. So it does come in the light and the medium shade. There's lots of concealers out there. There's liquid ones, there's sticks, tons and tons of ones. You really have to find one that works for your skin type. I find this one is amazing because it's a cream to powder. It doesn't settle. Okay, it doesn't settle. It doesn't feel like cakey. It's very, 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 very nice. I find this one is amazing because it's a cream to powder. It doesn't settle. Sorry, I'm trying to see who's on here. Okay, see if I had any comments. Sorry. So this one, I usually use my finger. So the warmth from your finger will build it up really nicely and kind of make it like easier to blend. Now this one normally, again, if you are a lighter or if you mix them, I'm obviously the same shade all year round. So I just take a little bit and I just apply it, like I said, underneath the eye area. And especially right here, I've been noticing because I've been wearing those blue light glasses. And if you are somebody that wears glasses, you'll notice you're gonna start having, this gets really thin, this area, right? So you're gonna wanna definitely apply it. All right there. So you can just see how much that brightens it up already, just on the one eye, right? Covers it up. And this is why you want to apply it after, because then your foundation, like, if you put concealer first and then you try to blend the foundation over it, kind of wipes away some of the concealer, I find. Okay, so if you had any blemishes anywhere else on your face that you wanted to add a little concealer, you can do that now as well too. But I usually just use it on my eyes. Okay, so we are good to go. And I'm just finding too with the natural light. There we go. Okay. Then, if you have the Ultra Finish Powder Foundation, we're going to use that next. That one normally comes in a little, it comes like this, in a little compact. These are for my kit. I don't even have one. I have my thing with my, so I'm just going to add a little bit in here. So you're going to take a little bit of a brush. If you don't have this brush, any kind of smaller, kind of fluffier brush will do. And you're going to add that and you're going to set the concealer. So I don't know if Shelly's on here or watching. I think she's on actually. She was asking about sometimes by the end of the day, the concealer looks like it kind of like crepes, right? It settles. So this helps set that. So using a setting powder, it helps keep everything in place, right? And I also like the powder foundation because you can also put on the top of your eyes as a base for your eyeshadow, right? Because everyone has different colored lids, right? Thinning lids, the like more pinky red, bluish, right? So then it doesn't alter the eyeshadow color. So I just take a little bit and I just blend it under my eye. And it just sets everything. And then it also acts as a concealer, so it actually gives it a little bit more coverage under the eye area. Okay, and then you take it and you literally just fluff it on your eyes.
Misty,
Right.
which brush would be the best one from the from our set to use
Probably
for that?
the concealer, the one that we did the luminous tint with, this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you don't have the other one, something like this would be fine as well. Okay. So you're going to add that also to the tops of the eyes. Okay, so if you have obviously oilier skin, then you probably don't want so much of a dewy look. I have oily skin and I still like the dewy look, and I find my skin's in the winter time very dry still. So if you wanted to put this in like your T-zone area, because those are like generally the areas that would be, you know, oilier, you could totally do that. But the purpose of this is that you don't want to layer, you don't want to have to layer liquid and then the ultra finish, right? Because then it's going to look very full coverage, not as natural, right? We're going for a very natural, glowy, kind of dewy look here, okay? So everything's concealed, everything's set now, and that will make sure your concealer stays on all day, and it just looks like flawless as far as like coverage, right? Okay. So the next step that I do is my eyebrows. So I find that powder works really nice. I use that when I'm doing my bridal makeup as well, because powder just goes on really nice and it looks a lot more natural. And again, if you've seen my makeup trainings or tutorials before, I always say this. Eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So it's like physically impossible to somebody have the perfectly symmetrical. We're just not born with symmetrical faces. So nobody on earth naturally has exactly the same eyebrows. So that makes you feel better, right? They're still a pain in the butt sometimes, but we do our best to get them to look symmetrical, right? So I have this. It's a spoolie. It's just a makeup. It's meant for like mascara, right? But you use it for your brows too. It's on a lot of the ends of a lot of like eye definers and things like that. Worst case, if you don't have one, next time your mascara runs out, just take the wand, wash it with soap and water, and keep that. That can be your spoolie. Okay. So with eyebrows, it's really important to brush them, and you want to brush them upwards to achieve that fullness. Okay. So you'll see too, obviously we got some foundation in some of the brows, but you're going to brush them upwards. start, okay? Just opens them up a little bit and it gives it a good base again for what we're doing. Now I just use this one. It's an Aloette. It's a Cocoa Couture. It's just a darker brown because it matches. So you want to use an eyebrow color that matches your natural roots. So even if you have like an ombre and then blonde hair, you want to always go with your natural, closest to your natural color and to your roots as well too, okay? Now with the brush for this, if you have the Aloette brush set, you will have this guy. This is a thin angled brush. See how dense it is? It's really, it's tight, right? So it's not very long. It's not very flexible. Like it's more dense. I have the old one as well, the goat hair. Our new brush is all synthetic fiber, so they're vegan friendly. And our old brush line had the goat hair. But I still love this brush because it's like thicker, right? So I'm going to use this one, but if you have this one, you use this one, okay? This one's for eyeliner or your eyebrows, okay? How we're doing with Facebook Lives. Okay, awesome. Now, you take a tiny little bit. And this is the thing too, and I'll show you more with the eyeshadows, but if you feel like you ever take too much, you're like, ooh, tap it off. But this is also why you want to apply your with your eyebrows this way. And the thing is, if you've never filled in your eyebrows, you will see a huge difference. It literally makes you, I think you look 10 years younger when you fill in your eyebrows. It totally opens up the face. It frames the face. And especially again, if you're on these Zoom meetings or you know you're getting your picture taken, you need your eyebrows done. Okay, so I would definitely encourage you, if you've never done them, try it now. But it makes a big difference, okay? So when you are applying for your eyebrows, you want to always start in the middle, which is the arch, because if you take, this is a lot of product on here, right? And it's a darker color for me anyways. If you put too much on and you start it off here, it's hard to blend it out if you're like, oh shoot. You want to be able to go back and forth. So you're going to take this in the middle and you're going to go back and forth, starting from the middle to the end, and kind of do like feather-like strokes, okay? So you're starting in the middle here in the arch. See how much product's on there, right? And then you're bringing it forward and blending it, and then blending it back. Right? So if you put too much right here, it might look really, really dark, okay? If you're like, oh, that's too, like, obviously I like brows are in and I like mine like this, but you could always, this is another trick with this guy, is you could go back and blend it out a little bit if you needed to with the spoolie as well and soften it a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna do the other side. And you can go back over it as much as you need to achieve whatever look you're going for. If you want it darker, if you want it really light, then you're just gonna go over it probably the one time. Okay.
Missy, do you just follow the lines of your eyes, or is there a certain way you do to make a certain
Yeah, you want to follow your natural arch. Usually it's tapers, like usually it's thinner at the end and thicker like within the starting point to the middle. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. Everyone has different eyebrow shapes as well too, so it just depends on what you want to follow your natural one for sure. Okay. Awesome. I know her headband's so cute. I need one. Everyone loves your headband, Stephanie. Okay. So the next step now, when we're done that, and again, if you don't have powder and you have a mechanical one, do whatever you normally would do for your brows, but this is just what I find works best and that I really like the look of, right? It looks more natural. Right? we're gonna get out our little black book of glam. If you have this eyeshadow palette, if you don't have this exact one, no big deal. Whatever palette you have or eyeshadows, I'm just doing a very natural, neutral look today. So we are using the Sunrise, the BFF, the Dusk, and we're gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna show you some tips at the very end quickly about like Zoom calls. Like if you don't want to do a full-on makeup look, what can I just do to look alive for my Zoom calls? Okay, so that's where the road trip comes along. So this is more of a matte look. Matte's really nice for all skin types, right? And all ages. So if you have more mature skin, right, and you don't like to wear a lot of shimmer to accentuate the lid, then the matte will be good. I always have kind of a rule of thumb with matte eyeshadows, matte and shimmer. You don't want to use matte, you can put all over, but shimmer, you don't want to use like a shimmer highlight and then a shimmer contour and then a shimmer, base color. It's just too much, right? You want to balance it. So if you were to use or want a shimmer, then you would use the Road Trip or one similar to that as a highlight. But we're going to be using, I'm just going to show you a really simple look. Instead of using like 3, like I normally would do like a highlight here, an all over base color, and then a contour color, we're actually going to do one color all over, just again, a different technique. So we're going to go with the lightest color. So I'm going to go with my Sunrise. Okay, with the brush as well. So you'll notice too, look at the difference between these two brushes. So this is the old Aloette brush, but it's still an eyeshadow brush to the newer one. See how like much thicker it is? So this one's gonna get a lot more product on it, okay? And if I were to show you these two brushes, this one's really dense. Look how fluffy this one is. So this one's not going to add a lot of product. This one's more of a blending, right? To help like blend it out, right? This one's going to be for the contour. If you don't have a round brush, that's okay. You'll still be able to use your regular one. So if you have just a regular shadow brush, that's what we're using now. Okay. So this one is just a flatter kind of rounded brush. Okay. So we are going to apply that all over the lid. You can tell I love this palette and those colors, right? I'm almost done. So we're going to bring it all the way up to the eyebrow. So this is our base and our highlight color. It's 2 in 1 today. Okay. Have my mirror here so I can see what I'm doing fully. Make sure it's all blended. You're good to go. Okay, so that is your base. Okay, again, if anything falls, don't freak out. You can take the brush that you did. I use this all the time. I love this brush. The little guy. Wipe away anything that falls. Or if you have the fluffier one as well, you can kind of fluff anything that falls as well too. Okay, so next we are using, again, if you don't have this brush, no big deal, just continue with this one. We're gonna do a sideways V, but we're only doing a half one right now because we're using a different color for the bottom end of the V. So we're kind of doing windshield wiper right now. So we are taking the BFF, which is a really natural nude, but it's like a medium nude because we want to do a really natural look today. With your eyeshadow placement for your creases and contouring, you want to follow your natural indent of your eyelid, right? Right here is your crease, right? Your natural crease. If you have hooding, which means that sometimes you either don't see the crease or it's kind of kind of fallen a little bit, right? You would open your eyes still and then you would still place it just above, and you want to be looking straight, because if you go like this and then you place it and then you go look straight, it'll be down. You won't see it, right? You're also wanting to make sure that you don't go over where your eyebrow is. So this is like a 45-degree angle. You don't want to be applying your eyeshadows over here. That's a very dramatic look, right? That is, it's accentuating it, but it's like too much, right? You want it to still naturally look accentuated. Okay. Okay, so we are going right here. I usually start where I don't want to go past, and then you move inwards. For this look, we're only going halfway. The purpose of your eyeshadow is to make it look bigger, right? When you do certain techniques, it can make your eyelids look beady, smaller. So if you take this or any dark color and you put it too close here, it's gonna draw it in, right? You want it to open up. So you are just going about halfway. Okay, you should be able to see it, but again, this is a pretty natural look. So again, if you want to go darker once you practice, a great one that I love in this palette is the Valet, which is like the kind of plummy color with the RSVP. Or you can mix even the bow. This one is really pretty too. That's why I love this palette. It's very versatile. You can totally achieve day and night looks with this. Hey, when we're talking about how do we know what eyeshadows look good on me, I always go by eye color. Brown eyes can basically wear anything because everything's a contrasting color to brown, right? But if you have blue eyes, you don't want to put blue eyeshadow on because it'll dull your natural blue eyes, right? You want to use a contrasting color. So you would want to use golds, browns, purples. Even the like our rosé, like a mauvey color looks gorgeous. Same with green. Green eyes look really great with like mink, like the mink one, like the taupes and the coppers, right? So yes. Yeah, Megan, you look amazing in purple. We did that for your wedding, your wedding look. Okay, so that's basically the windshield wiper look. Okay, so about halfway. Okay, if you're like, okay, it should never look like you're wearing shadow. It should always blend. So if you're finding your lines are kind of harsh, what you want to do is either take the fluffier brush or this one, just make sure it's clean, that you wiped off a little bit so that it's not full of the other shadow that you had. And you can go back in and just softly blend it. That's the thing with makeup. You can blend, right? If you blend it too much, you go back in and you add more, right? So that's kind of a tip. I usually find sometimes I just need to soften it, in the corners, but looks nice. Okay. How we doing? Everyone's good? Okay. Let's see how we're doing online. I think we're good. Perfect. So now we are taking the dusk, a little bit darker color here. And we're completing the V shape. Okay, so we are taking the round brush here, or again, your same brush that you were using, and you're just applying the darker color. Again, if you're finding like it's too much, just the fallout, tap it. Okay, then we are taking it and we're just bringing it actually downwards towards the lash line. So we're trying to achieve a little bit of a darker look just in the corner. And this is a really natural look, but you can see if you use anything darker, like if I went back in with my like Coco Couture or again the Valet, you would see it as well. Sorry, we are using the dusk right now. The dusk. Okay. So you're just slightly bringing it just at the end. So again, this is completing the V, only they're two different colors with the V. Okay. So again, very, very natural look, but you can still see the difference of a little bit. Okay. Again, I can show you at the end what it would look like if I added a few other colors from here, and then you can see too what the difference is. I'll change it up after, but this is just the look for the natural daytime look. Again, if anything falls, can just kind of swoop it away, but that should be good. Okay. Now we're doing eyeliner next. Again, if you feel like you need to blend anything out, just blend it. But you should be good. Okay. I love, where'd it go? Mechanical eyeliner. Okay, this is my go-to. I use this all the time. If you have the black one or a brown one, you can use powder for sure, but for this look, I want to show you what you can use this for. Now, this is a great one. It's waterproof. It doesn't smudge. It just glides really nicely. You're not tugging and pulling your delicate eye area. It's a really nice one. This also, if you have this, you may or may not know this trick. Okay. But you are going to, this is your sharpener at the bottom here.
Jeez.
Keeps it sharp, and then you just put it back up. I don't know why it's not in the brochure, but that is a sharpener. Okay, so this, yeah, see, it just goes up and down, right? So this one's really nice. So this is a black one that I'm going to be using today. Again, when you're on camera, if you're on these Zoom meetings or on your camera, it's, especially if you have any lighting on, it takes away a lot of what you're wearing naturally, right? So eyeliner is one of those things that just makes your eyes shape, right? It shapes your eyes. It also, especially if you're wearing glasses, right? Eyeliner, mascara, doing your brows will just really make everything look complete, right? And noticeable, that you can actually see your features, right? Okay, so for this one, we are doing your upper eyes, and then just slightly underneath, halfway, we're gonna do half. So again, we're focusing on accentuating the eyes to make them look bigger. And because when you go if you went all the way, again, it would close them in, right? Or give you that darker, smoky kind of look, right? We're going with a more natural look today. So this is gonna be just feather strokes, really nice feather strokes. I'm going to be adding a tiny little bit of a wing, nothing crazy, not a cat eye, just literally a wing. So you're taking it and I am placing it where I want it to go. Hold on, this one, just have to do my mirror. Okay, so a little bit like over. And then you kind of just stroke it, like a little massage. Really gently. I go about halfway and then I turn and I go inwards this way. And I like to do mine personally with my eyes open, but everyone's different. I find when I close it, I can't see how thick it is. I want it very thin, right? So I like to just go and then you can kind of see it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see. You see that little wing, but it's nothing crazy, right? Then you're gonna go underneath. Connect it halfway. Okay, don't worry if it looks really sharp, because another trick that you can do after is you take your thinner eyeliner brush and you can actually smudge it out. So you just kind of go back over it and you can soften it. Right? It makes it really soft.
Misty, do you find that, like, I do my eyeliner with the liner brush and shadow, do you find that you can only really do the little tiny wing with a pen?
It's hard to get a wing with shadow.
Yeah, okay, cool. I thought so, so I'm gonna skip it. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it'll be very subtle, but I mean, it'll look more smoky smudged look than like a true wing, but depends on the look again. And this is a really natural look, so you could go for it. But if you have a mechanical one, try that. This is just to try new different techniques. And I love liquid eyeliner when I'm applying it to other people. If I'm for sure, going out somewhere and I want my eyes to be like, sharp and crisp and really like dark, then I'll wear it. But I like the mechanical one. I just find it's easier to use. You don't have to worry if your hands are shaky like a liquid eyeliner. It's just a lot more forgiving, but you can see like it makes a difference, right? Like it literally like shapes the eye, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Everyone's different too. Some people's eyelids, you know, you put it on the top, maybe you don't see it very much. So then you would for sure just want to put it underneath. If I'm doing a day-to-day look, I probably wouldn't do it on the top. I just do it underneath. But I just like it with, again, like the camera and like to be able to see everything. I like it on the bottom as well. Just like completes it, I find. But yeah, everyone has different preferences for sure. Okay, so that would be the look with just the eyeliner on the bottom. Right? I just find like it adds a little bit more when you're doing the liner on the top. Everyone has a good side, right? So weird doing it with, sorry. Go back in and make sure it's kind of softer. Another thing too, if you, again, not this look, but if you wanted to, if you're using, you can use this one and dip it into another eyeshadow color, like one of the browns. And you can also add it under here too, if you wanted it to be more like a smoky, or just like like if you wanted your eyes to pop more, say it was a purple and you wanted that purple to follow underneath, it makes it contrast more and it makes it even more brighter for sure. So I smudged this one out a little bit too much. So then I'm going to go back in and add a little bit more. Perfect. Okay. So eyeliner done. Hopefully you guys are okay, following along. How are we doing on Facebook? The eyeliner, Shelly, was black, but the Aloette ones that we have are espresso, which is a dark brown, and we also have indigo, which is like a navy blue. And the blues kind of make the whites of your eyes pop more. So if you're from the 80s, you probably wore blue mascara, blue eyeliner. It's to help with the eyes, but it's a really pretty, it still looks natural. I just always wear black. Okay. And again, pretty much all the makeup that I'm talking about today is on the BOGO, and I'll talk about that at the end, but mascara is next. Okay, so we are going to be using, I have both and I love both, but my day-to-day look, I always use our A-list. But again, if I'm going out summer, again, want your eyes to be a little bit more dramatic, noticeable, the top shelf is amazing. Or maybe you haven't seen me put this on yet, so you want to see the difference. So I'm using both. So personally, okay, I'm going to use the A-list first. And I always do my bottom lashes first, so that you can basically not look upwards and get mascara all over everything that you've just done. Don't worry, don't freak out if you do get mascara anywhere. What you do is you let it sit. You let it dry, and then you take a Q-tip and it just kind of literally rolls off. I'll show you. I always goof up when I don't when I'm doing it myself, but when I'm on camera and I'm using weird mirrors of different things that I'm not normally doing, I get mascara places. So I will show you. So I'm just doing, I do about 2 coats on the bottom. Again, personal preference, but I always find when I do the bottom lashes on my clients, it just opens up everything. Just again, makes everything a little bit nicer, right? Okay. So I'm gonna do the top one. You guys are gonna see the difference. I almost want to do one eye, top shelf, one eye, A-list. But we will just layer and you guys can still see the difference. Okay. So again, if you haven't curled your lashes, you would want to curl them or start curling them because you'll see a huge difference. Why is it so quiet?
Misty, what's
Yeah.
the best technique to get the most out of your when you put on mascara? Like, what's the best technique? You just keep putting it on different layers. What's that?
Yeah, I always kind of like wiggle it,
Yeah.
wiggle, and that'll make more of the product go on your lashes. Any mascara you don't want to use more than 6 months, right? Because you get buildup from like bacteria. Your tube is like the perfect breeding ground, right? For bacteria. And another thing is you don't want to go in and out and pump the air inside because that's also drying out your mascara. So you always want to take it, and if it's getting to the end, you kind of smoosh it around the outer areas of the tube.
Okay.
But yeah, when you're applying it, definitely just tapping, wiggle, and
And so just to get that look, you just keep putting on more layers.
yeah, if you want more dramatic, thicker, fuller, it's about layering for sure. So that's what we're doing today. So I just did 1 coat, 1.5, just gonna do my inner corner here of the A-list. So I'll just show you what that looks like, just the A-list. And again, normally if this is my day-to-day look, I'd probably put 2 more coats of A-list on just because I love A-list. It's easy to take off. It's blendable. It's flexible. It doesn't like smudge or anything. But if we want more of a natural look, you could keep it at that. But I'm just gonna, again, on camera, things show a little differently, but I don't talk about this one very much too. And I do love it, just to show you. And they're both on the BOGO, so might as well show you, right? So this is gonna be the top shelf over top of it. You can see this one has thicker wand, for sure. You wanna just wipe off any excess.
Misty, I have a quick question. I forgot to use my serum today. So like what happens when your lashes get kind of tangly? I don't know if you can see. Like sometimes mine get like stuck together or tangly.
Oh, Megan, let me see. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can get like that too. I just keep going back and forth with my brush.
Sometimes I use a comb when they're dry to kind of like
Yeah.
flake
So
it out.
definitely like the one that I was talking about earlier, the spoolie, like one with no
Okay, yeah.
mascara on it, that would definitely help.
Okay.
Yeah, the A-list is a good one for that too because it's got like the finer
Yeah.
comb. So you usually put the Lux Lash serum on
Yeah,
it.
and I find that makes it, I forgot to today, but I find that
Yeah.
making a big difference with not tingling.
Yeah, someone's got the almond oil in it, so it's very
Yeah.
convenient for sure.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, that's something that definitely doesn't happen. Like I have tangly hair because it's thin, but not on my lashes. So I don't think about talking about that. Sorry. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so I've done 1 coat of the top shelf on my right eye. You guys see the difference? Right, it's thicker, definitely more noticeable. Right, so that's just 1 coat on top of 1 coat of the A-list. So if you were just using this one, you would probably want to do 2 coats to achieve this or more dramatic. This one's it's like a push-up bra for your lashes, this mascara. It really is. I only use this, like I said, some people have really thinner or shorter lashes, so then they love this mascara because it actually, they can see the lashes, right? One thing I wanted to say too, sorry about the eyeshadows, I forgot to mention, is if you are finding that sometimes your eyeshadows, like using obviously a base like the Heavenly Sheen primer or using your concealer first, like the powder foundation. But sometimes if you're putting eyeshadow on and you find it just doesn't stay on, try wetting the brush. Okay, So you can wet it with water really slightly, or if you have your, if you're not in the bathroom or if you're near something with like the Nutrimist, or just try it next time. But I'll just show you, you can just spritz it slightly so it dampens it, but nothing, you don't want to soak it. Like I just spritzed it once. Okay, and then I'll just go back in with the, what did we use? The BFF. Okay. See how much more pigmented it goes? It goes on more pigmented. It goes on darker and it just stays on. So that's another tip if you have that issue and you need a little bit more of that to like stay, or if you want your colors to be more dominant, right? Just wet the brush very slightly, damp it, and that will help as well too. Okay. All right. I think we're good for the, oh, the trick for the mascara. Again, if you got mascara anywhere, like I got one right here, you literally take it and you just kind of like swirl it and it comes right off. I got a couple. I love it. But the trick is you definitely want to make it dry first. Okay. 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 Yeah. I love opening new mascaras. Amazing. Okay. So now we are doing our cheeks. Now, oh, I have, this is our newest palette, the Golden Hour. So it has 6 different eyeshadows. So this is the look I did with that I posted in here the other night. I did the Twilight, which is more of the shimmer, as the contour there. But this palette has a blush and a bronzer on it. So you can get everything separately. If you have your own blush and bronzer at home, we're going to start with the bronzer. So we are taking, and the reason why I like a bronzer is for multiple reasons. So again, gives it some color, especially in the wintertime when we kind of need it. Makes you look glowy. It also acts as like chisels. So it makes you look skinnier depending on where you put it. And I'll show you those places. It also gives it another base. So you put your blush and the highlight over top. So it gives it like different dimension. So it still can look really natural in person, of course, but on photos and in camera, you can actually see like your cheeks, right? So with your bronzer, I use the Aloette brush. It's just like a thin, not thin, a little bit thicker, sorry, medium size angled brush. Some people, if you only have like a fluffy one, that can work as well. The chisel one you could use on the bronzer, but you really, really, really have to blend it. The thing is, when you're using liquid too, you can layer like creams, like we have our lip and cheek tints. Those look really nice because it's like a cream on cream. It's easier to blend. Whereas if you're using cream and then you're putting a powder over top, it takes it a lot more, right? So you have to just really be careful. It'll show up a lot quicker on the skin. So with that in mind, always tap it out. And then with the bronzer, first of all, you want to definitely put it on the top of your hairline. Looks really natural. Again, that's where the sun would be coming and hitting you anyways. It also is going to make you look a little bit skinnier, right? It's going to help. We're contouring very naturally. Okay. You're kind of just buffing it into the hairline there. So that's where I always start. Then I do my cheeks. So if you do squishy face, towards the hairline, back towards the hairline. Okay, and this also again makes it look thinner. I'll turn off the camera at the end, or the sorry, not the camera, the lighting. So I have a little bit of a natural light here, but I feel like my window's like, and then the snow, totally glaring. I'll shut that so you guys can see. Okay, if at any time you're like, oh my God, I put way too much on, what do I do? It happens to me sometimes. You either take a fluffy brush and you blend. It's makeup, it can blend. Okay, or if it's really bad, the chisel brush and you blend with that guy. Okay. Just give it a nice base, but nothing crazy. Okay. I went down too much there. Okay. So it should always be about, and then this is your blush next. If you think of your actual thickness of your brush, that's kind of where you want to start. So same with this. You don't want to do too close to the eyes, but you don't want to go in too much because especially with blush, you'll look like clowny, right? So it should still start on your cheek and then go all the way back towards your hairline as well. So I love like roses. I think like rose neutral colors look really pretty, especially right now in the winter time. Obviously in the summer, more corals are really pretty. Berry colors are really nice right now too. But this one's an all year round one. You can, pinks and stuff are really, really nice, but this one's like a subtle rosy pink. So take a little bit of your blush. Some people, you can put it on like this. I just kind of keep it normal, or you can do this kissy face, but I just kind of take it and again, really lightly blend it into the cheeks towards the hairline. Okay, so it's kind of going on top of the blush, but you should be able to see it. Okay. Nothing crazy. Just put it in the hairline again. If you're like, okay, put too much, take a little bit. Blend it out. Okay, now if you have a highlighter, you can use the highlight, a powder one with the tip of the end of this brush. You could totally do that. Okay. I'm going to show you a technique that, again, if you don't have this product, it's okay. You would use your highlight basically right here. And you want to use it on the end of your nose and on your Cupid's bow as well to kind of just look like softer, right? But if you have this product, first one we talked about, the very first one we tried, the luminous tint, we're going to put this one as our highlight to achieve that, again, subtle, natural glow to your skin. Okay, so you're just adding a tiny little dab. And if you have this product, you know you have to shake it, right? The oils can separate, but you just take a little bit. This one definitely not as much this time because you're only using the smallest amount. Okay, and you're taking your finger. You're blending it just above where you put your blush. And again, nothing too crazy. You don't want to do too close, but just
You might want to go into the room if I use the blender.
pretty. Like it's just a really natural glow. It'll probably look good on the nose.
How long does your pie crust do?
I haven't put it in yet, but it takes 8 to 10 minutes to cook.
That's all.
Okay, can you guys see that? The really, really nice natural glow that gives, right? Nothing crazy, but it's still the highlight. And again, if you want to add a little bit on the end of your nose and your Cupid's bow, that's where that would go. Okay, I just love that one. It's just so subtle, very soft and glowy and very, very natural and hydrating right now. Okay, how are we guys doing over here? Right? I know, I love it too, Shauna. And again, this lighting, hold on. Let me just see if it's there we go. There we go. There. Then there's not the glare from but you can still see how pretty that is, right? Okay, so that is your highlight, natural glow, dewy look for today. Last step is our cheeks, or sorry, lips.
Lips.
Okay, so for our lips, and then I'll tell you a few little tips that you can do for the Zoom meetings. And then we'll be done and I can do Q&As at the end. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this and following along. This is our lips. So I picked this little tip up from a British makeup artist. So sometimes you want to have that fullness in your lips, but you don't want it to look fake. You don't want to look like you have fake lips. You don't want to look super like you lip lined them, right? So what she does is she just takes a very natural one. So that's why I have the nutmeg here. So this is the Aloette nutmeg. It's a very, very nude kind of color. So again, for this look, you can use whatever look you're going for. If you have a darker shade or whatever colors you love, but I'm obsessed with this new glazing lipstick or lip gloss. It's like a liquid lipstick, but it's very pigmented, but it's a really pretty color. And I'm going to be giving one away. Okay, so you are going to line just your upper lip, not the bottom one, just the upper lip. I'm going to look in the mirror. So this achieves it. It's going to be hard to talk with them. Well, you guys saw my before and after with half, but you can just see even. Right? If I just did the one side, look how it just makes it look fuller, but not fake, right? So you just do the upper lip. Okay. You're going to line the upper lip and then you're going to take your lip gloss and then you're going to add it. So this is, like I said, the Aloette Glazin. So my two favorites are the Glazin and the Rose Dust. This one's really, really pretty, but it's sheer, right? It's very sheer. This one is literally pigmented. It's my favorite new lip gloss, and our BOGO's on right now, so you can mix and match them. This is like a kind of a rosy mauve color. I'm obsessed with it. That's it. So it's very natural, but this is very hydrating too, again, in the winter time. Need a little extra. So this is my favorite, but it filled in the lips without it looking fake, right? So that's just a little tip as well. So that is the complete look. Now, put that back there. Setting spray is really important to help set your makeup. So this is the Aloette charcoal one, Set and Shield. So this one helps mattify the skin, but it also keeps it so that your makeup's fresh all day, and it's antibacterial with it being the charcoal. So any of your makeup setting sprays 8 to 10 inches away. You don't want it too close to your face because then it'll be wet and you'll ruin what you did, right? So good. There's grape leaf extract, lavender here, and then the charcoal. So good. Okay. So that is the complete look. Okay. So hopefully you guys are following along still. I know you probably don't have the Glazin, but if you have anything, again, natural, kind of pinky, any of those colors. Moxie Mauve is a really pretty one too. But that's the look. Okay. Now, really quickly, if you're like, hey, I have Zoom meetings, I don't want to look like a zombie in the morning, what can I do? Okay, remember the very, very first. So you would probably not want to do the whole, obviously, the whole look. You could throw on some eyeshadow if you'd like, but even if you didn't throw on eyeshadow and you literally just put on mascara, and then in your inner corner, okay, the inner corner of your eyes, you're going to add a little bit of the highlight. So you can use the Road Trip is a really good one. That's the one that's the shimmery. You want to use a shimmery highlight for this instance. And you want to apply it just in the corner of your eyes. See how much awake I look? So this will be a little trick. Again, if you're just want to have some Zoom meetings for work and you don't want to do a full look. See how it makes it look a lot more, like it just makes it pop more and you just look a little bit more awake there. So definitely in the inner corner right here is where you want to add that little bit of highlight. Okay. Obviously, under your eyes, you want to do a concealer. And then we also have a product that's really good. It's called Look Alive. And it's a little round guy here. And you would use that with an eyeshadow brush. Make sure it's clean. Make sure there's no eyeshadow on it. And you actually just shake this. And you only use what's on the lid. So you can see there's tons on the lid here. So you would only take a little bit. And this one is really good too for brightening up. It's like a powder concealer. It has light deflecting properties in it. So it brightens up everything and makes it look just like awake, right? Do you guys see the difference? It's amazing. I love this stuff. So even if you just did concealer, a little bit of this powder, and then a highlight, mascara, your eyes will look like you're there, ready to go. Okay.
Mom, is it gonna be done?
Alrighty. So that is the little tip for that. So awesome. This is called Look Alive, the Look Alive powder. Okay. So that's my little tips. I'm going to really quickly just go through a little PowerPoint here for you. So there's like a couple slides and show you what's on this month's BOGO. And then we can keep it up if you have some time at the end, if you wanted to answer any, if you want me to answer any makeup questions, anything like that, I'm available. So I like February. It's a February month. Okay, so makeup is self-confidence applied directly to the face. So like I said, we have a huge BOGO sale on this month. So I'm just gonna highlight some of the ones that are on BOGO. You can see we've used a lot of them in today's look. The foundation, both of them, the Be Picture Perfect and the powder foundation are both on BOGO. The mascara, both of them, top shelf, and the A-list is on there. We also have our liquid lip shines, which are our lip glosses, are on the BOGO. The lip difference, which is that clear lip chap lip balm, that one's on the BOGO as well. All of our eyeliners, so you can mix and match the shades. Lip liners are all on there as well. You can mix and match the shades. The Luxe Lash Growing Serum, which you can also use on your eyebrows, is part of the BOGO. Our Flawless Primer and our Luminous Tint Primer. So the one that we used as the highlight here and as the base is on for $49, second for $15. I find that one lasts me about 9 months. The Luminous Tint Primer lasts me about 9 months or so. Set and Shield lasts forever. I've had mine since last year. And I have mine in my bathroom. This is the one that I use for my demonstrations, but mine in my bathroom's halfway and I've had it since last year. I pretty much use it daily. So it lasts a while. That one also, if you haven't heard me talk about that Bioactive, or sorry, the Set and Shield, my soon-to-be sister-in-law is a nurse and she actually swears by this. She spritzes it right into her mask and then she applies her mask and she swears that it helps her not get like as much like maskne, right? Because it's an antibacterial, so it's going to help absorb a lot of that as well. So obviously you don't have to be a big makeup wearer to use some of these products. You can just use as is. Luminous Tint Primer as well. I forgot to mention that one's great. You can mix it with your liquid foundation if you wanted more of a sheer subtle look, more of like a CC cream, or you can mix it with a moisturizer and use it as is as well. So that one you can, if you don't wear a foundation and want a full look all the time, that one's an easy peasy one that you can add to. Stick Shift is on BOGO if you're familiar with that one. The 3-in-1 cleanser, toner, exfoliator. But this guy, especially if you're into makeup and you're wearing makeup, you need this. This is essential cleansing oil. This is the best makeup remover ever. So this one takes off your makeup, cleanses your skin, and nourishes your eyelashes. So it's got like a little pump. You just add a few squirts with some water and you literally look like a raccoon. It just like melts away. So that one's an amazing makeup remover, cleanser, all in one. So these are some little sales and I can post these in the group as well after. So you can get 2 Flawless, 2 Ultra Finish, and the Chisel Brush as a super sale. You can get that as a bundle. I also have Love Your Lashes as a bundle. So the Luxe Lash Growing Serum and the Top Shelf Mascara as a little bundle here. Again, I'll post these in the VIP group afterwards as well. Makeup on and off. So your setting spray, BOGO, and then your cleansing oil, BOGO, as a little package as well. Okay. And of course, if you're like, hey, I want everything after this, or I need some more things to add to my makeup routine to get completer looks and things like that, and maybe some more skincare and whatever's on your wish list, obviously, do my virtual party still. So for February, I have a few dates left. This is a booking bonus, actually, the palette that I use, the Golden Hour. So this is $16.95 just for hosting. And then of course you would be able to get all the other hostess benefits between $100 to $250 in product. And normally it's for 20 bucks, but we actually just started the Aloette year started February 1st. So I want to really just be booked solid this month because it's an incentive. We have like a new incentive trip. The last two ones obviously got canceled because of COVID. So they did give us cash, but I hope to God that we can actually travel in 2022, which is when the trip will be, and it'll be to Ireland. It's like a bucket list place. So I'm just like, I need to be booked solid to start my month off amazing and strong. So when you host a party with me this month, I am going to be giving you the shopping spree for free. Okay, as a thank you for helping me get started and starting off strong. So it's a fun girls' night. I'm doing a lot of Valentine's Day themes. So when they show up wearing red or pink, either lips, a shirt or a sweater or wine, red or pink wine, I give them a little free pink sample hand and body silk. Okay, so lots of fun things there. I literally do everything for you. It's the easiest hosting you'll ever do in your life. You don't have to clean your house or buy snacks, right? So if you're interested, let me know. I am going to be doing a little draw. I'm going to leave this open till Monday to give some of the ladies that maybe couldn't join us today a chance to win this, and they can type in their comments. So I would love to hear what you took away. What was your biggest aha moment, your biggest tip? And I'm going to be giving away my favorite lip gloss. The one I just used is the Glazin. So I will mail this to you, whoever the winner is. And I wanted to just, do a little thank you for joining me and hope you picked up something. So again, if there's any questions, I can stay on for a little bit for that, or you can private message me any personal things that you'd like. But I just wanted to thank you for waking up and making up with me. And thanks for joining me. And I hope you guys had a blast. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you're going to see a difference. That the luminous tint for hydration is absolutely amazing. And the Look Alive, yeah, it's a big difference for sure, right? So if there, I feel like I forgot something because sometimes it's just all on the top of my head and I go as I go, but hopefully if there's anything, I'll post it in my comments. I forgot this, but I think we're good. Did you guys have any comments? I'll see if there's any on Facebook.
Thank you so much, Misty.
I think we're good.
It was great.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Misty. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me, ladies. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording and
Thanks, Misty. It was